first meeting.
Cool.
Alright.
Alright, what are we doing?
Good question.
Yeah, so what do you want us to just to roll?
Well, I was thinking if that's the way that you guys want to do it, have a bit of a roll around and then sort of we can sort of chat about what you think some areas you want to work on.
Yeah.
Or if I see something that you're wrong and there's
Yeah.
A bit more like active.
a bit more of an active way to do it.
Yeah.
Not just going,
do this, do that.
Yeah, cool. Well, we roll flat out, so we're always getting into spots where we're like, I need a bit help there.
And if you get to a position where you're feeling like you're there but you don't know what to do, then just yell out and be like, I get stuck here a lot. What do you think? And then we can troubleshoot that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Lovely.
Alright.
Awesome.
Do you want to do rounds or do you just want to have a roll and then we'll just go? I reckon we'll just have a roll. Have a roll and then we'll just
Alright
moving through.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright then.
We'll do an hour around.
Yeah, now we're
1 hour
around.
round.
Like it, I think I've done them in 10 minutes.
Nice. Good job. Got a half go. Good.
Alright. That was tight.
Good. That's good so far.
Cool. That was good. Dumped it all out.
On this one, let's go more like a 50, like not 50%, but like a little bit more than 50%. And I want to see how you guys are flowing your positions. Try to think about what your next move's going to be. So as you're going through your positions, what you're trying to set up at least. Maybe not as far as technique, like tactic,
More.
but just what, alright, I'm moving in, I'm going in, moving in, I'm going in. Like what's he doing, what's he stopping, so be careful of triangles here too now. So your elbows on the outside. Yep, you need to make sure that elbow's on the inside. That's it. Now a bit more weight with the hip here. Don't try to lift your leg, try to stretch your hip down to the ground more here. Keep. That's it, and now use your other foot to help you. If you got, that's it. Now you can circle your foot, your foot. That's it. That's it. Build height if you need to. Build up height. Get your hip higher than his hip. So head can come down, but the hip's going to go high. That's it. Stand up in it. Now you can walk around. That's it. So you want to build height there. Watch those hooks, Chris. Watch those hooks. So keep at least one hook out. That's it. Good job. Just wait a little bit too long there, Keithy, to transition. Good. I'll just move back that way, boys, so you can get just if you feel like, when you start to feel that disconnection from your chest, that back off your chest when you've got the back, as you start feeling that incrementally moving out, that should be a trigger to then go to on the top position so you don't end up back on the bottom.
Yeah.
So that was good work, Chris, on the scalp there. Build your frames up, that's it. Frame. and then frame and move. That's good, or you go into your deep half now. Or half guard underhook. Don't leave your arm on that side of your body if you can. That's it, now work from the underhook. Three counter there. Now as you go to deep half, that's it.
Good, Zach.
There you go, see?
There you go.
So try to get your head under a little deeper and hips under a little deeper. And remember, you're not using your hips side to side here. So if you want to start to think about sort of moving him around, you can move him up, or if you start turning and moving this way and bumping him, like bumping, see how he's got to, you can do things like that, but just be careful that you don't let his foot come out.
Yeah.
You always got to be really careful of his foot.
Okay.
So what I do in this situation is see how you're crossing your feet.
Yeah.
He can still extract his leg out even if you cross his feet.
Oh yeah.
So make sure that you're squeezing your knees together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so your knees are going to go together almost like this. And then when you want to change your feet over, you're just rotating around your feet. But your knees stay together all the time.
To pinch your
Yeah, pinch the knees, and then you're just rotating the feet to change it. Yeah, like that. See how your knees stay together? That keeps the leg in.
Yeah, and straight.
Yeah, and then you don't have to stretch it, you just got to keep it there. And then when you're changing your feet, then you can use your feet as hooks.
Yeah.
But if you're crossing your feet and you're not using your knees, then you can't use your feet as a hook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want it, would you change the position of your crossover depending on what you're going to do?
Depending. So like if he wants to start to go to the back or sweep, he's going to get that outside foot in.
Okay.
And always having that top foot over the top to stop you from stepping out.
Yeah.
And that's the lever now.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. Nice, just switch that up. That's it. Ooh, good try. Keep the arm across. See the arm was across there? Keep fumbling. Underhook. Cool. That's the side you want to get on.
Yep.
That's your half guard side. There you go. Just watch that arm going across your body. There you go. Now you can build up if you need to, but you got to be careful here. Yeah, hold that. Hold in under the armpit or the hip or something under that side.
So that's not a great position here.
So this position here could be good for you, top or bottom. It's kind of like the same position for both of you, right?
Yeah.
And you have similar attacks in this position.
Yeah.
So even though you're on top, you've got your weight on there, Christian, you can start using that.
Yeah.
But because you've both locked your arms in the configuration and the legs, it's pretty much the same position. So, you know, you've got all your back takes, you can go to mount and stuff.
Yeah.
Keith, you can sweep, but you can also start to turn into him and grab his pants or grab under here.
Yeah.
And if you change your legs, you've got back takes too.
Yeah.
You know? So if you try to sort of lift his leg and go to guard there, you could get that, but you're also gonna, you could also give him the opportunity to escape the position.
Yeah.
So what I would be doing here if I was you, is I would start looking for this lapel here. And I would start making this grip here. Alright? And now I would change this leg inside. So go over, so inside like that, and take the bottom one out. And now start driving up into it. Yeah, now you can start to take his back here. See?
Yeah, cool.
That's what I'd be looking for in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Because we're in that spot a lot.
Yeah, I fuck that there a lot actually.
With that grip.
Yeah, I look to sweep usually.
Yeah, but sometimes the sweep can be hard because of the weight on you, and also because when someone goes to a cross, when they're in a half guard, it's a funny position because half guard, both of your spines are lined up, so there's a lot of rotational movement side to side. You can sweep to the side and stuff, but when they kind of go into that sort of like lateral grip where they're down near the belt, they're almost bringing their spine out on an angle. So you end up creating a T with your spine, even though you're in a half guard. So that's when it can be hard to sweep them, or even get your guard back. You start to try to lift that back leg, and then they pop that other leg out. So getting your grip on the belt or whatever, or even on the lat, you don't even have to make an actual grip. You could just have like a friction hold there, and have your arm there like on the back, and then you can start to change your leg, drive into it, create some space for that bottom leg, and shoot it around the back.
Once I got that bottom leg out, obviously
So
changing.
if you go back to that position again.
I think it was maybe right over the top.
Yes, like that, right? So now, what a lot of people try to do, right, is they try to bring this bottom leg under this leg. Like almost like they want to go back to a closed guard. But the problem is there's no space for you to be able to do that. That's right. Now, that's it. So one tip that I'll give you is when you make this grip on here, I like to use this hand to pull the lapel and get the lapel. And the reason that I get the lapel is because if your elbow's pointing up, Christian can actually still take your back. So what you want to do here is when you grab the lapel, you want to build up onto this elbow now. So bring that bottom elbow above your head. And now turn your elbow in. So not the other one. So like this. So as you build up onto this elbow, build up. You're going to turn this elbow now down to the floor. So now he can't go to your back. If your elbow's high, he could jump over this side or whatever, but having this pointing down, you're making a frame, and now you can start to change your leg, tilt him over, and then you can shoot that bottom leg back through this side, and now you've got it back there. So having that elbow down blocks them from taking your back.
So obviously, I could take, like if we've got.
So I'm pulling this out. That. And then
Now, when you build up onto that elbow, you really want to build up on that elbow at the same time you're sliding your top elbow downwards. Like this. It feels awkward, but if you build up before you do it,
it's almost nasty too because you can dig it in.
That's right, and it's pulling my arm back at the same
But if
time.
you build up onto your elbow first, build up high. That's it. Now you're in good. You need to start to shake off with everything.
That's really good.
And if you want to get it a little bit easier, just make the grip a little bit lighter. So because when you turn your arm, it'll tighten up.
It's too tight.
Sometimes you can just do it on the grip. Like you just need to be aware. Like sometimes you don't have to turn your elbow down, but you just have to be aware that they can do back takes and stuff. There's not much blocking them. That's it. And on top, for you to stop that. Just like if you leave this here, and I'm making this grip here like this, instead of grabbing down low like this, just grab higher. So like instead of being here, where we're kind of in a neutral position now, you know, he's got my hip, I've got his, he's got my leg, I've got his leg. If I walk this hand up higher, and now I go here, now he can't. Now he can't. So now I'm in a much better position than he's in, than if I'm here, and he feels that freedom to be able to move around. So just make sure that arm goes higher. Just walk that hand, create a wedge, and then wedge it underneath the shoulder, so then it's like, you know, their arm's stuck. And then you can extract your leg easier.
It does feel like I get that position. I often do it off like a back step and land there. It feels 50-50 like
Just bring that arm back up. Try again and do the same thing. Bring that arm back up. Because it'll feel stronger.
It feels pretty like
So here you're pretty like, you know, you're almost like a ball here.
If you can't get that, you just grab some material.
You grab some material,
But otherwise,
So when you're here,
so now I'm in a better spot.
so you're in a better spot because you've got this frame now.
Now it's hard for you to get.
But if you don't have that frame, then you'll come here, now he brings this back. So you can either go front, I don't even bother about going, I just go like, a little bit, like here.
I can only go that way.
And then what you do is, you're going to use your butt now, and use your foot on the floor to push your butt up towards your shoulder, dragging his arm up with it. So you've got both his arms, so now you can use your bottom leg to kick and pull your leg out. Like this, you can pull and kick your leg out. So you can actually get both of his arms above his head, so when you land on your side, you can go where you want.
I And I reckon Grail too has something. A few of the guys have been doing it lately where they're passing that arm across. It's tight. It's tight.
There's a little thing of like, it's almost like if you think about trying to control the elbow, like where their elbows go, rather than controlling their whole arm.
Yeah.
So if you think about like holding their elbow or bringing their elbow above their head or crossing it or wherever you want to put it, but just think about controlling the elbows. So like if they're on their side and they're trying to roll, just hold the elbow. Or the sleeve to control the elbow, you know, rather than thinking the whole arm. Yeah, and if you start like, all right, you know, I've got in here, I'm controlling this elbow above his head on this side. If I use my hip to control the other elbow, then I've got both elbows up controlled. One's by the hip, one's with my arms.
And it's super restrictive. Like when people have started to do it to me flat out lately, where I might be here and they're doing this, you know, they're doing that. And then, or they're using that to come across. And it starts to
all that, you start thinking about controlling those elbows and stuff. It makes it a lot easier to control the person involved.
Sure.
Especially if you think about how people have to escape bottom positions, they have to build frames. So remember we've been talking heaps in class about those minor frames to major frames, building those little frames to create an escape. You want to try to make them avoid those minor things coming in, those minor escapes coming in. And the way you do that is if their arms, if their elbows, it's a little bit like a guard pass. It's like the first part of the frames are going to be the hands, like the first part of the guard is going to be your feet. When you beat your feet, you get to the knees. So, you know, their first framing is going to be their hands and their elbows. You beat that, they don't really have much else to frame with. They've got to start digging all this stuff back in.
Or if they're like, you know, if you're lucky in it, you might be just using like.
Exactly. And the further they start controlling your arms and bringing it out of like away from your body, the less you've got inside. The less you've got inside.
And you're trying to dig inside, and if you can't get inside back again, they're just going to keep, like, there's nowhere else for me
100%.
to get into anywhere.
So you're looking at beating that. That's your frame.
So first it'll be like, you know, maybe a grip. Second they'll go elbow. Third it's like you're already starting to get through now. You know? So sometimes you have to beat multiple frames. Sometimes they'll just go straight to their elbows, you know. But if you think about it like controlling their elbows, and it takes a lot of the hands out, like a lot of framing of the hands out. You know. So like even if you're doing like a let's say you're doing like a knee cut even, and the guy's here is framing like this, right? You know, if I start like controlling his elbow, controlling his elbow, pushing his arm, or even here if he's framing, I'm pulling this arm up. I'm controlling his elbow, which is really stopping the frame of his hand. Even though he's got his hand on me, the frame's almost there because here he doesn't really have his elbow where he kind of needs his elbow in. So when I land, I'm kind of do the frame, make a strong frame. As soon as I pull that elbow up, even though I haven't got my hand up, it's an ineffective frame because I'm controlling that elbow.
True story. I mean, it's like having the other night with the spider guard things, and it's like having a spider guard, but there's nowhere more to go. You're not. It's not even doing anything. Like I was running a big job. I couldn't even get my foot on his phone. He's just like, that's doing nothing. I'm like, I know, and I've lost now. I'm out stretch, so now I'm in trouble. Because I've got nowhere else to go. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Controlling elbows.
Alright. We'll just carry on again.
I think we're going.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. It is. It's like active coaching at the moment.
Nice. Good sweep. So in this situation right here, what is the major threat happening in the role for you, Keith, you reckon? Like what do you feel like you need to start to like address?
He's got that leg control.
So he's beaten that, he's beaten your knee leg. So everything you got to do now is a framing to at least get that knee out.
Because otherwise he can build his packs
the
off
more
that.
they start to carry around to the side like that, he's
Yeah.
creating, not only is he starting, but he's creating angles that when he does pass, he's going to be in a much stronger position when he lands.
Yeah.
So the major thing that you got to think about now is like, you know, so one of the grips I would be making here, if I was you, is on the sleeve on this side. Yeah, because he's going to be trying to push that leg through, right?
Yeah.
So when he starts to push the leg through, you
Yeah.
can carry that grip through with him.
Yeah.
And then, as he's here like this, let's say he's pushing this leg, he's starting to put weight coming through, you can start to off-balance him towards me or the other direction.
Yeah.
And as he starts to stabilise with his legs to stop himself from falling, that's when I pull my leg out.
Right.
So let's say I start to take him like this way. Let's say you're tipping him towards this way. Yeah, see, he's going to have to stabilise. When he stabilises, then you can pull your leg and put it back in.
And I'm out.
You see, so you can do like little off balances and things like that. You don't have to just pull the leg out.
Yeah.
You can be controlling your framing, your grips and your frames can then create off balances for you to then, like he has to step his leg out.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's going to feel like he's going to fall.
Yeah.
And then that gives you the extraction of the leg.
Yeah.
You know, so just those little tips and the little blocks and the little things like, go,
Just
boop,
to sort of
take the leg out. Yeah, just to regard. Yeah.
Rather than trying to go from there to sweep.
Or rather than trying to go from like frame, he's got weight on me, how do I get that bottom leg out? It's like, right, he's coming around, he's grabbed my leg, he's already taken the post away on that side. Don't drag him onto me. I'm just going to tip him enough to pull my leg. You know, I'm going to make him like have to post or make a reaction, and then off that reaction, I'm going to then make my attack.
When I'm in a position like that, I start. I'm not thinking about that. Little things. I would have been thinking about how can I get him to sweep it.
Which is a valid thing to do as well.
Yeah.
But if you're working purely on the fact that you want to have a more retention, like be able to retain guard, because that sweep in that situation could be a high percentage sweep if you set it up correctly, but it also could open up a position for him to be able to pass, which is like everything in jiu-jitsu. There's going to be an element of you know, what's risk versus reward, right? But you want to minimize the risk and maximize the reward. For me in that situation, I would have been like, instead of trying to drag him over me, I would have just been like, well, I've got the sleeve on that side, I've got my frame, he's not really able to put that much weight on me, but I've got a really good off balance and I can get my second leg active. And then when I get that second leg active, he doesn't have his hand because I'm controlling it. So now I can go second one active, boom, I can arm across it, I can start attacking, I can then start sweeping off that. If I don't hit the sweep, it doesn't matter because I've got my guard
got my leg back. So it's like that little micro, like let's start there, and then you know that I'm likely going to try and rebalance and get my base back.
Well, you have to, right? Because if you don't, then you're corrupting your pass. So your pass is becoming less and less effective because you're corrupting the position more and more. And you're doing it almost on your own because you're like, you know, as you're going around and your arm's stuck, the more you come around, the less often, like even in that situation, if you're holding his sleeve, so if we jump back in the same sort of similar situation, let's say you're holding his sleeve between his legs now, right? Because he's tried to, the other one? Now let's say he beats your leg and he actually hops over your leg. Even here, he can't really pass you.
No, because I've got him there.
You know, if you actually hip escape away now, you'll actually give him more of a pass. So now you give him more space to lean into or more space to change direction. So when he hops over your leg this time, push his hand between his legs, but sit up. So when you're here, push the hand between the legs and almost sit up this way. So when he hops over now, you're going to push over. You're going to sit the other direction now. Like this. See? And now you can come back and set your guard, and you've minimised the he can't run the other side now.
It's too far, isn't it?
He's not like
nowhere. He's facing the wrong direction.
100%.
Whereas if you hip escape away, you're giving more space to directional change, and he's still facing you. So his head becomes the pivot point for him to be able to jump side to side. Or you could almost sometimes, like you see this a lot too, where people hip escape out, and they've got good frames and good grips, but then they hip escape and they give the space for the guy to lean more. And when they lean, that weight becomes too much for the frame.
It's like giving him a
you're like, so it was all right when he was actually over the top of
now
me.
it's like full
Well, see, the problem is when he's passing, he's actually he's hip to hip over the top of you, which is great for off balancing, sweeping, and things like that. As soon as you hit, so if you go back in the same situation, and you've got that sleeve grip, right? Let's say he pops that leg over, like he pummels the leg, right? And he starts to pass around. here, you're still under his hips a little bit. Even though you're not in the best position, you're still under the hips a little bit. And it's kind of like, he could try to flatten you out here, which he could do, obviously, because he's passing. But here, it's like, he's still kind of connected to you. But if you hip escape away now, you actually give him space to, just go back, Chris. Just when he hips away now, just lean on, like hip away, lean on it. See that?
And now he's like,
as you elongate his body, you actually give him a little more lean, which makes him heavier.
That happens to me a lot.
But if you go again and you do it the other way, and as you sit up this time, you know, he pops over, you sit up, but now you sit up. So when you sit up, don't sit up towards him, sit up away from him. So like this, you know. So now it's like there's no generally he doesn't want to keep his head down. If he keeps his head down, you're going to be able to take his back, right? So he's going to. So as you're in a seated position, he's going to raise his head, and as he raises his head, you've got all the opportunity now to do what you want. Yeah, 100%. But people don't want to turn their back because they feel like they're giving their back. But remember, you're only giving your back. You're only giving solid back exposure if the person can connect their hands together. If they can't connect both their hands together, they might be able to put their chest on your back, but they can't control the position. They need two hands to control the position. If they don't have two hands, and you can set that up from the guard pass. So if you feel like they're beating your leg or they're pushing your leg, keep that one hand, move away from them, and now they don't actually have back exposure, you can get your guard back.
You've stuck
but sometimes you can get stuck, especially like we all do it. You get stuck staying on your side, and you're like, oh, he's coming around. Oh, I'll just fight. Now let's get this guy. Boom, and then you're like, oh, fuck, I've got to get out from under here. So it's more of a retaining of a position rather than defending a position. You're actively still playing guard, rather than going from a guard playing to defense. So remember, like a while ago, we were going over those concepts of like the three different guard overall concepts where you're controlling guard, you're retaining guard, and you're defending guard. And a lot of people don't know the difference between retaining their position and defending their position. And in this situation, is a perfect example of going from controlling a guard to a defending position. But if you put that hand and then face away, you're retaining it. You never want to go from control to defend. You always want to bounce between control, retention, control, retention, control, retention. But in this situation, if he beats your knee, you're gonna, and you sort of like abandon and start pushing. And how do you know when you're defending is when you start pushing. Once you start pushing on someone in the guard with your hands flat, you're defending. When you've got a grip and you're actively making movements off a grip, you're retaining. You see, so that's how you'll know the difference. So in this situation, you can let go and push on him, and he's probably going to, even if you do get your guard back, it's going to be harder work. You're going to use a lot more energy. Whereas this, when you keep that active grip and you face away from him, you're actively retaining and then giving yourself opportunities to be able to ABC.
So you could do that, you said before you could do it as we're working a guard, we're trying to pass. You can get that sleeve grip early if you, if I'm here.
It's like when you're playing guard, right? Like if you're playing guard and he starts to like move around even, like run around you.
Keep that
still got that.
Keep that grip.
I'm retaining even though like...
One of the biggest things I see is like people, they'll let go of the grip too early and start pushing on their partner. They get into that. And then what happens when you push is all you need to do on top is apply weight. They can't take your hands off.
If you're going that way as well though, like this one's important too with it, because if you let go of, if you're going that way and you let go there, I can always like drive you that way too.
You can start utilising the hands. But in the situation we were in before, generally that back side hand will be like hugging your hip or something, or holding your leg. So it's like you're working off sort of one side. You're on your side, you're working on one side. So that's when I'll I utilise the shoulder. So there's a principle that you can work off here, which is a guard principle, which is where you place their hands can determine a lot where their weight goes. So for example, right, like if I pick you up with my legs and you're standing up and I pick you up and I have your hands forward of your shoulders and I pick you up, it's actually hard for me. It's not hard for me to sweep you, but it's harder. But if I start to put your hands behind your shoulders You see how it tilts your weight, right? So now if we do the same thing and we go down onto our knees, if I'm here and I'm holding here like this, right, and I have your hand outside your shoulder, it's going to be hard for me to hold balance you. But as soon as I bring that hand on the inside, it's easier to balance you. So determining where the hand goes outside the shoulder is going to be a strong frame for you as far as passing. Bringing the hand inside makes it easier for me to off balance you. So now, like, you know, even if you, like, let's say you have an underhook here, and you hear like this, it's starting to pass my guard. Like even here, so by keeping that sleeve grip between their legs, you're actually rolling the shoulder and tipping the weight over their center of gravity. As soon as that hand comes outside the shoulder line, they're going to be able to post off it.
It makes no sense. Nah. But it's not a lot of effort.
No, it's just spider guard. And if you're playing spider guard, you just keep the grip the whole time.
That's great.
It's an admirable.
That's a concept.
Because you know people do the under and overpass. There's a couple of defences to under and overpass, right? Different defences. But one of the defences to under and overpass is to push their hand between the legs. Because when they go under and overpass, like here, under my leg and over, people sort of push like this, right? Like here, they come around the other way, like this, and you're over my leg, sorry. Go back. So this hand here is like this. So having that sleeve grip in here. So as he comes over, look. You see how I can tip his leg? By having that sleeve. But that position becomes really strong when they kill the leg, and then they get the grip up high. And why? Because the hand comes forward at the shoulder. So if I do it up to you, if you're laying on your back, and I'm here, I'm going to start my pass like this, but I get to this position, right, and I don't want my hand stuck in here. So once I've killed the leg from the under and over, I'm bringing my hand here to make the position stronger. This hand balances my weight across my body more. If it's under here and I'm passing, you can see I'm putting my body over. See, I'm actually tipping my own weight over my own shoulder, over my own center of gravity.
It makes a lot of sense,
I don't want you getting head
you don't want me cross-facing or grabbing up high on the body. And one of the reasons is to control your body from moving around, but it's also to distribute my weight across your body better. Because when my hand comes from under my arm, behind my shoulder, to in front, it distributes my weight better. It's like, imagine trying to do a plank with your arms under your body. It's like your body will be wanting to tip forward all the time, so you bring your arms in front of your shoulders to create a better distribution of weight. So you can manipulate just that, even just to get little reactions to pull your leg out and stuff. So if you're playing half guard and your partner's like crushing your leg, and you're making it like a knee shield, you can just be like, fuck, and then they go, oh shit, I'm gonna fall. They open their base and then they slide the leg out and stuff.
So I've got a question that reminds me of is when I've got people in the half side. I know it's not good when they add that like knee, but you know when you go in the half side and they get that knee through, so someone like strong like even Bixie or Taylor who will get that through. And it's like, so what am I?
So this is a little bit different. It's like a kneecap pass, right? So you know how we were talking before about using your. So there's different ways of like, especially if you've beaten your.
Yes.
You see how he's beating your knee now? So you can still hold the sleeve if you can. That's the best thing that you can do is hold the sleeve, right? That's one of the best things you can do because you can poach your sleeve between his legs now, and it's the same sort of thing. So first of all, what that does is it stops him from being able to grab your head, and second, it's tilting his weight like we were talking about. Now the outside knee, see how it's not really active at all? It's just sort of hanging outside. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring that knee and slide it up his thigh until you connect your knees together. So slide up his calf, but don't lock your feet. Just shear your feet like this. You're going to go like this. You see?
So I took the bottom leg out.
That's it. So now, what you can do from this position is you can bump him with that knee and start bringing his shoulder to the floor. So So bump and go.
Ah, nice. Yeah. And then you can, then you
Come up on top.
Yeah.
So remember, like with the knee cut, right? He has to be centered with his weight as well. So when you're knee cutting, you want to have that centralized weight. So when you come through, everything stays center as I come through. If I'm like this and I go like that, this is really hard to knee slide into the space where my body is. So by having that arm underneath again, and then using my knee to bump you forward to get that motion, you know, even sometimes you might not get a sleeve there, but you create a scramble. So again, you're making that space again.
And at least like you're retaining it because you're not sort of.
So sometimes you're already like sort of guys knee cutting here. You know, I'll be like this, and sometimes I'll go here.
Yes.
You know, so now so even here like this, I can even pass the sleeve in and hold the jacket. So I'm doing the same thing though what we were talking about before with the sleeve. You can do it with just the sleeve, or you can do it with the jacket. So now and then what you're doing is you're just kneeing forward. So it's that same thing of getting the hands behind the shoulder. You know.
And you didn't need to get that into the knee.
No, or I've just used my knee behind to bump it up. But it's the same concept as the deep half guard, is that if you cross your feet in like a triangle, they'll be able to pull their foot out. But if you shear your leg, you keep your knees together, it's a tighter grip. So using that concept all the time of like hands between the legs, hand between the legs helps heaps.
I've actually got pretty lucky. I being at the Blue, I swept him like that from him standing, and he came in and I was sleeping. Through his leg and just took him over.
Because it tilts the weight over.
As he was coming in, he was coming down like this, and he bent, and I just sleeped him, and then just rolled him over my head. He was like, "Fuck, what was that?" And he was like, "Dan showed us something last week," and I remembered. He was like, "Wow." I haven't got it on him since, but that concept. Him just coming in and hanging and grabs, and I just went like that and then pulled him onto me.
Well, you can even set those sorts of things up from half guard and that, where you actually make them base onto their hand, grab their hand, and then circle the arm in and then sleeve them over.
And the more you drive forward,
the more they get excited to pass, the better, because the more that they go over their own arm, the worse. That's why, realistically, if that happens to you guys, you should stop and address this arm between your legs. So, like if you're on your side and let's say I'm in the same position. You're punching that hand between my legs. I'm not going to start passing. I'm going to keep my center of gravity here, and then the battle becomes in the hand fight here. Once I can get this out again, now I can start to grab. Now that hand coming in front of my shoulder. So now I can utilize that to just move my leg directly.
That's the battle, isn't it?
But people forget about that little battle and they go, "I want to pass. I want to go forward." But a good passer will stop and they'll address what's there. It's like a good passer will pass it open guard. They won't just come through with their arm stuff. You know, they won't keep fighting through. They'll be like, "Oh, I go back up, address it, and then move."
I think when you get done there a few times, and it happens to me just a little bit, you know straight away, as soon as that's tucked in, you're like, "Oh, I can't progress. I have to deal with it."
And you feel it, right? And then in the beginning though, when you're first doing it, you're like, "Oh, it's pass anyway." And then you get slipped a few times, and you're like, "Nah, that's not working." And then it's like, "What's stopping me?" And then you go, "Oh shit, it's actually the arms, not their legs." Because the legs are not that difficult in that situation to get around, because you're already through the leg line. You're already through the knee line. And your hip is already getting close to their hip. But what stops most people is that it's not that they're framing and pushing away. That's the last resort. It's the grips that make a difference. And it's how you utilise those grips.
I think you get to that halfway point where you just think, it's a loser's game now, and you might have a sleeve, and then you just give it up and go, "Fuck it, I'm just going to do this."
That's what a lot of people do. Like, stay on that sleeve grip, right? Like even if it's a cross grip like you've got, if you go cross grip, this is good too. You know, like this is good too. Like just having something.
And even if I just use it to do that.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Like look at that. That's beautiful, right? Like,
control of the head on those things is half guard passive. I'm not pulling that head.
You want to control what's necessary to control as you're going through the pass. You should never be like, "I need to get to his head." You should be like, so the way I pass is a little my methodology of passing is that I incrementally move up as I pass, but not in a slow way. Sometimes it's really fast, but I control each thing as I go along the way. So I have little pit stops as I move through. So if I need to hang on your hips and control your hips, I'll do that over losing a position. So let's say I'm on the mountain, right, and you start standing out. I'm more than happy to backtrack back to your hips, you put weight on between your knees and your hips to control, and then move my way back to mount. Rather than go, grab your head and then lose my legs. I'd rather move my body down, take care of what I need to, then move back up, then go, here's a scaling, hold the head, because that's the thing to do, right? So the traditional methodology of teaching jiu-jitsu is, as you pass, you should go to the head. But my idea is more of, if I can control the lower half of your body, the top half can move around. Once the top half moves around, then I can secure the lower half, then I can slowly move my way up, and I can start to secure the upper body. You know? But I need to address the steps along the way as I go. So what it does is it takes away the idea of having to pass in one go. So you can now take steps along the way, and each time you take a step, you're battling a small battle rather than the whole guard. Like I'm dealing with this part of his guard now I'm dealing with this part of his guard. And each time you move up further and further, the bottom part, it becomes less effective if you're controlling it, down the road. You know what I mean? Like, as I'm going down the road, I'm sort of cleaning up as I'm going. So when I get to the end, I have to go back.
Actually, there's something Stacey and I were about, which stuck to exactly what you were saying, which was that idea. If I come in, like say you're down, and I come in and I want the underhook, but then I lose the underhook. It's like, just pull away, come back, reset, and then keep going. Because otherwise, if I just go, fuck it, I've lost it now, it's not working.
You've got to wrestle up.
100%. And then when I could have actually just gone, I want to get the fuck in here. Let me come back again.
Like resetting is a really good idea, because reset allows you to reevaluate the thing that's there rather than trying to fight it as you move through it. Sometimes it's worth fighting as you move through, because if you know the counter to a certain situation, it'll lead you to good. But like an underhook and half guard, you probably want to be addressing the underhook before you make any forward movement. Especially if you've got an underhook and a sleeve. Because you really have no control of him at all. Even though you're on top and put your weight on him, you don't really have any control. If he's got an underhook and a sleeve grip, or a collar sleeve or something like that, it's like, you've got to address that stuff.
And if it's just like stripping it away and just trying to back away and then trying to
go back, you might strip it out, push it down yourself, and then move around that side so that you can't frame it. Or you might be framing off your lapel grip and you pop it off as you go around. There's no problem. You might invite that lapel grip. So that's when you're doing like a leg drag. You might roll and pop that off as you go. No problem, because you know you're controlling the situation.
Get out of the next step. But if you're sort of moving through,
and you're just like, that's it.
Well, that's the thing, like with leg drags and stuff, right? Like the leg drag itself is a great. It's a really, really strong class. The reason it becomes super strong is because a lot of people don't address the issue. So, like if I'm you're laying in this and I'm going through a leg drag in this situation here like this, a lot of people get to here. They just allow this grip to happen. Right? But if you break that, like because I'm here and you're holding that grip, even if I pass now and you just stretch that and go across over, look, he can now get out. I can't actually control it because I don't have two hands. So I know it's hard, but a lot of the time people focus on the legs being passed and they start pushing on the partner when you should be hands should come to your middle chest to defend your lapel grip. So at least you've got their hand and you can put up a fight here.
And even if it's just having that much space, means that you can just get your legs back.
All you need is enough to get your big toe. Because then once you get your big toe in, you can start getting your hook in. That's right. And remember, even if we have one hand, it's very difficult to control someone's back or their side or whatever with one hand. Because any time you've got one of my arms, you can now turn it inside on the inside stage.
And we did go through that a couple of months ago. Might have been earlier this year. We went through that one class here, and it was just drilling that. Grab something. You can get a sleeve, kick the sleeve, and work out how you can. Even if you just use it inside the way and come back.
Get back out and there you go. Just remember that every time you hit the skate away, that you give distance to them to change direction. So that's what you need to do. You So when you hit the escape away, you should try to get your legs straight back in as quick as possible. Because like, you know, he might do the right defense on the leg drag, but he might hit the escape away, and that allows me to then go the other direction. And then that kills that sleeve, right? Yeah. So that's when we're getting into just jiu-jitsu. That's how it contradicts itself, right? So there's a move, then a move, then a move, then a move. But in that situation, you have to make the right move. You'll get back there, or you'll get down.
Yeah, when I go through those early ones we did, just so you remember.
Yeah, so the concept today really is like that, you know, using that sleeve grip, you know, and using that to like either extract your leg or tilt it forward or to sort of like stave off their passing pressure. You know, or even inviting the passing pressure, like on the over and over. I don't mind if the guy puts heaps of pressure on me if I've got their sleeve between their legs, because you can sweep them over.
So you like use it the wrong way.
And a lot of people are so blinded by the pass. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't even matter if you do get around my legs. It doesn't matter at all, because you don't have a hand to control.
100%.
So it definitely increases your ability to retain position. 100%.
That's a knee cut, huh?
So this is the battle between both of us on the knee cut, right? Yeah, he's going to be trying to battle your arm, you're going to be trying to battle his. Whoever's got the top position is going to be battling, right? You can, if you pass that to that, you pass that sleeve to that one, and now the other bottom hand grabs the collar. So yeah, now you're in good position here. Now you can use your knee up the butt and then forward or sweep him over here.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's super. And the arm's still through the leg.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's cool. And another one here, like this, right? Let's say he's going knee cut on here, and I get my hand here, and I'm finding his sleeve like this. Pass this one to here, and let's say I go to here, but I'm trying to get that collar and I can't. I can turn my feet in, like here, and I use my foot like this, and then I use my toes together, and when I put my toes together, it turns my knee in. So now I can sweep him here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So once you've got that sleeve, you can either wrestle up on it. Sometimes even there, sometimes it's hard to kick it forward. They'll be really good. Like they'll be really good at their base. So
You find that sometimes you haven't got the leverage to give them that.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll be good at like blocking that foot from getting under the butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go, so you start with
And so what you're doing here is make that sleeve grip there, and now you're pulling your head away and bringing your legs in. So you walk your legs forward, keep walking your legs until you get this bottom leg to here, and just putting your toes like this. See? So now this blocks. You can grab that collar if you want it, and now you're pulling the collar down as you're bringing your folding your knees and going over to your knees. That's it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. It's like, and then because you're controlling bits along the way, it's a safe thing to set up. Like you don't have to go quick.
Well, at any time you feel like let's say he goes, oh, he's sacking my foot, I'll pull my leg off the ground. You can just go to normal switch.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can bounce between them.
You can just sweep, because all you're doing is doing a tilt sweep forward. Yeah, so you
And I want, it's that one that I need that he has.
Yes.
Hitting that, yes.
Already, yeah.
So even that there.
Best out there on it.
Yeah, so if you're going to do the first one, you just grab the collar, and now use your outside knee underneath the bar.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, and now bump you forward, boom, and then you can come up here. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the second one is really similar, but all you're doing is like walking your feet. So when you get to here, you secure it and you walk.
Yeah, and then cross your toes. Yeah, okay.
That's it. So it goes up, so this time now, put your feet on the floor.
So if you give them the ace and
And start walking your feet in towards it like this until you can get this one in. Yeah, so this one goes here, this one goes here. Now, grab his collar. So you're going to pull the collar to you, and then you switch your legs.
Switch them as
Like this knee's going to go to the floor, and this one takes out his base. Cool.
No shit. It's just like a leap, there's something similar to it.
Yeah.
Something I've done before. It's just like bang, just neck. Yeah. That's super cool.
So smooth, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think because if you're fighting, obviously no one's just going to push that sleeve, but at least with this, I feel like if we do secure the sleeve, you can compose yourself a little bit. Sometimes I rush because I'm glad that I've got to quickly get something going. Whereas something like where at least if you've got something like that, you kind of can.
I'm in a lot of trouble now.
I can should be moving forward now.
Yeah.
You got to really surely like, I got to break this.
And even if I just, even if I just kick that out or something like I can just stop fucking, I'll come up to the back or whatever. It's just gives you something to,
Like make it kick the leg out, come up, wrestle up.
That's cool. And I think that's what some of the Steve's always like, is like, you're rushing. I'm like, I'm rushing because I don't think I've got enough control in place to pull something off. Whereas this, I feel like
this
gives me that.
situation, let's say he's coming in with a knee cut here, and I've got my hand in like here, right?
Yeah.
But he's not allowing me to have this one now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull the lapel. And then I go here. So what this does now is it ties his leg to my chest. So now he can't, if he tries to knee cut through now, I build onto my elbow to slide the knee out, and as he slides his knee out, I can come up with this. Yeah, so it makes it really difficult. So when you get to here, when I get this, see, he's hiding that arm, right? He wants to be tall. I want that arm. But if I've got it tight here, I can take my time. See how I've got my legs? So now I can use this to bump him. He's got to place his hand on
Yeah, for sure. Then he's grabbing
that. Now I've got it.
Yes.
As he comes to come back now, I'm going to pull that out. So same idea though. Same idea of like a secure position. Grab that sleeve, but if he posts out on it, wait for him to come back, or you can wrestle up on it, but it's easier to wrestle up if you get your hand behind the shoulder.
But you're almost like, because and obviously like I would be like, he's not having that. But if you off balance, I have to put it out. Then he goes, cool, that's what I want.
That's what I want. And then you're going to go, well, I want to stay here.
So I'm going to touch back, come back up.
And if he comes up, then you can pass down.
Actually, because I've been done with that lapel through the leg. That's what a few people lately, and it's fucking hard to get away from it.
So it's the same thing, you're just hugging the lapel here, right? Like that.
And then just
and from here, if he stays here, you can just wrestle up.
but
if he pulls back, you pull the arm in, and then go again.
Far out, man, that's crazy.
So you're like working on the actual reaction. It's not a hard thing to do, it's really easy to do. So it's not like it's you have to be fast or strong or anything to do it. Just take your time to do it. Hey guys.
That's cool.
I like that one through the legs.
Sort of thing what Bernardo does. There's a guy back in the old days, well not the old days, but in the late 2000s, a guy called Leonardo Nogueira. He used to do it a lot as well, like that half guard, lapel guard sort of.
It's effective. Because it becomes really like, as soon as that gets threaded through, so like when you're defending it, you're like,
it becomes very difficult to get your leg out. It ties them to you.
It's tight.
And you break in the posture as well.
Well, that's the other thing too. So control, so the lapel goes up to the shoulder and control. So anytime they try to posture up, they're pulling against their shoulder, which is tiring as well.
Because he says, he likes the slide in there, doesn't he? Like, so it's more coming in this side, and then he's always looking to he likes the outside one.
It doesn't matter. I never found like it mattered that much, but sometimes.
And it's like,
it is. It keeps me tethered to you. I'm sure there's things to do.
Well, I think from here, it's more probably, like you said, he's got different moves, I think, depending on what you do.
There'll be different configurations to the things that he does,
A lot of the time that knee will be only like round, so if you and then go to and then he just knee taps like that.
Wrestle up, knee taps.
But then if they stand up, he says you grab the pants, still do the same thing, and then they sometimes he said people turn around the front. That's where you can do this. So if I've got that, and you sort of stand up and start coming around the front. you can pull this one in.
Yeah, it's good, yeah. 100%.
It's just like little, especially too, like, after you've been here a while, I start to realise that I need some things that my body can't move as fast as my brain or whatever the deal.
Yeah.
So then you need a control mechanism when you're like, okay, I can hold this for a second.
Especially on a kneecap.
Yeah.
A kneecap can be like a slow movement or a fast movement, but they can also be directional changes. Like they can go kneecap to mount, they can kneecap and jump over and things like that. They can go kneecap to like back steps and all sorts of things, right? So having that, tying them to you, it allows you then to okay, you know, I can slow the match there. The other thing you can do here too, for a kneecap here, is once you get it up like this, if he starts coming up on this leg and really pressuring me, you can bring your knee up like this. So now I have this hook. So now I can actually grab here and just chuck that. I can grab here and I can start to pull this shoulder down and start to lift. You see? So from here now I can use my hooks to kick it. So all of a sudden you can start to like actually implement guard as well. You can suck your leg back in underneath and start using it as a hook. You can grab that sleeve and start sweeping him off it. You can use your shin to shin now because you've gone more to a conventional guard rather than a side guard. You know, leaving a side. Yeah.
And he probably had nothing to do with it.
What would he have?
And that was a joke in itself.
That's a habit. So like sometimes I'll grab the knee here, right? Like that. And then I'll start pulling my body in back underneath it.
So he's like really heavy, then I'm sort of like coming in.
Yeah, now bring your knee between his legs. Yeah, like this sort of position.
Yeah. And then
now you can use that as a hook, right? So you can start to lift him up and over.
And then that one under that one.
Yeah, kick it away. Start taking his back. It's hard. It's only your hands you've got.
Take those off. No,
Well, you're stifling them rather than trying to like, you know, just bear through until they get through or hoping that they make a mistake. You're actively like, all right, I don't really want you with a kneecap. If you're going to go to a kneecap, I've got a few things that I can do here to stop the kneecap.
It's a pretty common, like, this was a few days ago, like, half guard, I've got very little from there, I'm almost there. It's like a common, like, even if someone goes to pass, they don't quite get past that. So it's always like a constant guard that you're in. And then so having those just little things where you can go, okay, usually I just take too long and I just keep pressure, pass it, or back step and I'll come around. It's just something to...
Sometimes too I'll do these sorts of things similar, like I'll be in this situation, I'll put my foot down, I'll put my foot like this. I'll get into this situation here like this, from the knee, and then I'll put my foot in and like push it away. And then I can come back through.
Yes.
So you can like create space and start actively playing guard rather than being like, oh, he's sneak up me. Oh shit, okay, that was good. It's like, oh, sneak up, lapels, foot, lift, de la riva, sweep, you know? So it's the same, like if I'm in a kneecap here, you know, I'm going to bring my knees up like this, like I'm going to bring my knee up in the middle, right? Or even like put my foot in and push it away. Yeah, and then from here I can step my leg in and I can keep that sleeve and I can come back. And from here I can stretch. Yeah. So there's like multiple things that we can do rather than just being in that situation where it's like, oh, I've just got to wear this shit. No, everything has the opportunity to make it better. But understanding a couple of those key little things will help a lot. So like using the lapel to tie yourself, using the sleeve, instead of having it outside the shoulder, bringing it under the shoulder. That's a big one.
Huge one.
That's a big one.
So if they go, let's say they go past, because this happens. So if you go, and they say pass it, say if you miss all that, and they do grind past, and then sometimes they turn you up and stop this way. Well, you might even do, let's say you keep the leg even, and they come across you.
That's the same situation we're working with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, so that's where you'd be going for the...
That's where he's going to go. This one's going to come under the arm.
Yeah.
And then he'll start to grab on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So this hand here goes all the way through. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
all the way to the back here.
Yeah, and then that's where you
And
try
then you
to
change your leg.
grab that lapel.
Yeah, and then you can start to build up here and take the back here. Or
I remember how I didn't.
go like put that leg over the top. Yep, that one. And then from here you're going to push, like build up onto an elbow. And now pull your bottom leg around to go to the back. So you almost like you're going to go onto your knees.
Trap with that one. And
Yeah,
that's
now come around to the back end. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where you would, if they switch over to that position, you can always work on that. But if they switch over and they don't, then you can do that deep half guard sweep I was showing you before, where, let's say, you do your knee cut, you do your knee cut here, you go around, you switch on me. But this time, I get to this position here.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So from here, I'm going to hold your leg, like either a grip or whatever, keep my elbow close to my voice to try to minimize the attack. And then from here, I'm going to bring this arm underneath. So I don't like having this arm stuck. So the way I do it is swing you up and you go here.
Oh, yeah.
You see? Now from here, I just go past the valve and hold here, and then I go here. Now from here, I can use this one and I just start to swoop off here.
That's the same
That's
position.
like a reverse.
When it gets like right there to that point.
So that's the same position that too.
Yeah, very similar to what we work on.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, there's a couple of things there.
Some gold.
Yeah.
Especially that. Because you do everything. It just depends on your problem. Like sometimes it's like, oh man, I fucked it up with this stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, everybody does it. I do it too sometimes. You're framing and you're like, oh fuck this. Making a big ball of progress. Sarah's still gonna fuck you up.
Thanks for your coffee, I think.
Oh, thank you.